Vorsitzender des Ministerrats, Vorsitzender der Volkskammer und weitere Mitglieder der Partei und Staatsführung. Die Glockenschläge vom Turm des Roten Rathauses leiten das militärische Zeremoniell ein. Just a narrow lead, about 4-point lead over Republican Herschel Walker in recent polling, despite a series of abortion and abuse allegations surrounding the football squad. And more than a million Georgians have already cast their ballots early, Shannon, as voters know the stakes are high in this race. So if Murdoch wins, Senate Democrats who already have the majority, as you know, gain some wiggle room here that diminishes the leverage that centrist Senators Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema hold right now, and also opens up a pathway for the president's agenda for the next 2 years. Now, if Walker wins, the GOP can get equal representation on Senate committees. That's important to them. It also matters in the next election cycle when Democrats have nearly 24 seats up for grabs as opposed to Republican seats. And portions could also be a referendum on former President Trump, who picked Herschel Walker. So, Aja, Walker received some 200,000 voters. They split their ticket in favor of Governor Trump, but then also Senator Walker. Der Minister für nationale Verteidigung, Army General Heinz Hoffmann, Mitglied des Politbüros des ZHD-SED, nimmt die Meldung des Kommandierenden entgegen. On Tuesday, because the governor is actually now campaigning for Walker, but
Einheiten und Truppenteile der nationalen Volksarmee, der Grenztruppen der DDR und des Fachregiments Zelensky anlässlich des 35. Jahrestages der Gründung der Deutschen Demokratischen Republik zur Ehrenparade antreten. Kommandierender der Parade,
Reporting from Georgia, Aisha, thank you very much. Well, I'm reaction to that because climate change is one of the biggest foreign policy challenges facing our country. Let's talk about 2 key senators driven by climate. There's uncertainty of the politics is not with you. We have a policy to discuss, especially in the Senate. But first, we must working with one of the first in the country for global practices. President Biden said the economy needs to change to represent voters and the control body. The Republican Party office says the DNC agenda can just keep up all the chaos. The reasons are actually going to be he's going to be more likely interested and some of those eligible votes for them in June the process of the election. So in that, the story is
Unteroffiziere, männliche Unteroffiziere. Ich begrüße und beglückwünsche Sie zum 35. Jahrestag der Deutschen Demokratischen Republik.
Strategic influence operations against our country. It's been banned in some places. India bans it. Should we do that?
I think we definitely should consider it. It's an economist with China. There's no distinction between the government and the private sector. Everybody works for the government. So TikTok is a really independent concept. The second piece is that the Chinese are really into stealing data and collecting data. And this is one huge way to do that. And they're going to have all the keystroke, everything you want, whatever you comment. I think it is going If this were Austria or Australia, people would worry about it. But here's a country that's demonstrated a propensity to intrude into our affairs, and particularly to use cyber to do so.
So China is top of mind in the conversations here this weekend. So what do you make of the protests there? And what is the role of I do think we should be encouraging those continuing protests in China. This is a country that has such draconian measures supportive of the Chinese people that are protesting. We want their voices to be heard. And in any number of ways that we can make sure that we are getting that message out through the
Here's one of the real problems. The 21st century technology, you can have the right spread just whether they can get out from under the thumb of a despotic government that has pervasive surveillance, tapping phones, you name it, they're how seriously unrest is. And ever pull off the air of these
brings up this question about U.S. accusations that they're disabling some of the things that we have now. Prime ministers have been trying to have communications with protests and protecting themselves. The government says these municipalities that do such a lot of business. Yes, that's not the way that do that. And let's make sure that companies that are doing business in China can continue to do business in China. We want to make sure that they do have the opportunity to share through their country. But obviously the Chinese, they are limiting the ability of individuals in China to communicate freely. I think that this is the Kremlin seems to say that they can't have that kind of conversation. How does this end?
Boy, if I had the answer to that, I think Putin is extremely dangerous. But our running situation in August, all the Ukrainians do, the more dangerous Putin becomes, because he's running out of options. And what we're seeing now is actually his go-to option in Syria and Bosnia, where he's just bombing the hell out of Syria. And the problem is that that's just below the level where he knows we'll get into and so we're in a difficult situation. I think what we've supplied to the Ukrainians has been enormously important. I think we need to continue to do so. Putin's number one priority right now is to develop the West in terms of support for Ukraine.
There are Republicans who are asking for more transparency on the House side, especially there's talk of a resolution there that would allow tracking these dollars, their taxpayer dollars, U.S. Citizens who work hard. In other countries like Ukraine. That is dominated by Russia, China, and Iran, where they are controlling the direction of our globe. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to see what that looks like. I think it's incredibly important that we continue to advance freedom in Ukraine.
I think she has a point, and it's wrong. I would suggest she Google Rhineland 1936, Sudetenland 1938. Hitler could have been stopped at those two times when he began his aggression in Eastern Europe. He wasn't 55 million people. Desperate.
Senators, thank you both very much for your time. Thank you. It's my interview with former Vice President.
Zum Vorbeimarsch an der Ehrentribüne begeben sich die Formationen zur Ausgangsstunde des Jubiläums zum Auslagerplatz. Gemeinsam mit Konica erleben die Parade hier in der Paradenallee die Reise der ausländischen Delegationen zum Nationalfeiertag. Unter ihnen André Gorski. Zehntausende Berliner und Gäste der Hauptstadt sind in die Karl-Marx-Allee gekommen, um bei dieser traditionellen Ehrenparade zum 35. Nationalfeiertag der Deutschen Demokratischen Republik die Soldaten des Volkes zu frühstücken. Fußtruppen eröffnen die Parade. Geführt vom Kommandeur der Offiziershochschule der Landstreitkräfte Ernst Thälmann, Generalmajor Horst Müller. Offiziersführer der Militärakademie Friedrich Engels, der höchsten militärischen Bildungseinrichtung unseres Landes, marschieren an der Spitze. Angehörige der Offiziershochschule der Landstreitkräfte Ernst Thälmann. Der Marschblock der Offiziershochschule der Luftstreitkräfte und Verteidigung Franz Mehring hat die Ehrentribüne erreicht. Angehörige der Offiziershochschule Rosa Luxemburg und der Unteroffiziersschule Egon Schulz der Grenztruppen der DDR. Es paradieren Formationen der Offiziershochschule der Volksmarine Karl Liebknecht und der Flottenschule Walter Steffens. In etwa 200 Meter Höhe nähern sich Hubschrauberstaffeln der Karl-Marx-Allee. Angehörige des Werner Seelenbinder-Geschwaders mit Transport- und Kampfhubschraubern vom Typ Nina. Als letzte Gruppe der Wettbewerbsinitiator der Luftstreitkräfte und Verteidigung, die Hubschrauberstaffel Behrens aus dem Adolf von Lützow-Geschwader. Vom Nordberger Platz her nähern sich die motorisierten Paradeformationen. Auf geländegängigen und luftlandefähigen Spezialfahrzeugen Fallschirmjäger des Truppenteils Willi Sänger. Ein Aufklärungstruppenteil schließt sich mit 5 fähigen Schützenpanzerwagen an. Oberstleutnant Peter Zehe führt Einheiten des Rottschützenregiments Hans Weibler heran. Auf den Schützenpanzerwagen Streberschützen. Sie sind in der Lage, zielfliegende Ziele treffsicher zu vernichten. Moderne Artillerie prägt nun das Bild der Parade.
But I think it set the table and set into motion what ultimately led to a tragic day of January 6th.
You talk, and I want to get to that, but you talk about in the book how there were indications that the legal cases that were playing out weren't going to be enough, that you would come to the conclusion there wouldn't be enough there. You mentioned specific attorneys who were trying to be
Good. Bigger. Oh!
Wait, check.
Biscuits. Honey. we should do under the Constitution on January 6th, that we would come around. But
You knew that wasn't true. How did you feel at that moment? And why didn't you say something about it?
well, I told the president that I intended to do that under the Constitution. I had the right to take action. No vice president of American history has sharing the presidency of the American people, alone. And in fact, there's probably no idea more on America than the notion that every person can choose what the president should. I made that clear to the president for weeks leading up to that day, but frankly, at that point, when late at night, January, I simply thought it was important to state our case to the country, to the Congress the next day, and that's precisely what we did.
So leading up to that, the president wanted you to take action on House floor to somehow turn away or make to appear illegitimate the electoral count. People are going to think you're stupid. And if you win that, you're just another somebody. So what's your relationship like now? And how does it impact your considerations about potentially 2024 for yourself?
Well, look, the president and I clashed in the days leading up to January 6th. I always believed in my duty that day, by God's grace, under the Constitution, and upheld the peaceful transfer of power. But I was angry. I was angry about a difference that day, and I was also angry at what I saw. You know, I was determined to stay at the Capitol. I was going to leave my post. It was important that I remain and do everything in my power to work with Republican and Democrat leaders to reconvene the Congress, which, because of the courage of law enforcement, Capitol Hill Police and federal law enforcement, the violence was quelled. We reconvened the Congress on the very same day and completed our work. We literally turned a day of tragedy into a triumph of freedom. But in the aftermath of that, the president said the right things the next day. He committed to a peaceful transfer of power. He committed to an orderly transition, and he condemned those that perpetrated violence at the Capitol building. We were back on track. But honestly, I thought of that Bible verse that says, "Be quick to listen, so to speak, and slow to become angry." But that was easier said than done, because I was angry. The 5 days later, the president asked if I would meet with him. I walked into that back room where he and I had spent so many hours together over 4.5 years. 4.5 years where we rebuilt our military, revived our economy, appointed conservatives to our federal courts, 3 Supreme Court justices, crushed the ISIS caliphate, strengthened our armed forces, and made the world more peaceful and more prosperous as a result. And I walked into that back room, and the president looked up at me, and I sensed he was deeply remorseful about what had happened. He immediately asked about Karen and Charlotte, who had been with me all day and all night on January 6th and 7th. He asked me how they were, and I responded sternly. I said, Mr. President, he said, "What do you mean?" And then he said, "Were you scared?" And I said, "No, I was angry." I was angry about our differences, and I was infuriated at what I saw that people ransacking the Capitol site and police officers. And in that moment, he seemed genuinely remorseful.
Were you angry at the protesters or him or both? Or how that played out?
I would say both. I was angry at the president, so when the tweet came across all the guys who were ransacking the Capitol, the president actually tweeted an attack on my character. It was clear he decided to be part of the problem. I was determined to find a solution to the problem and work with leaders of both parties to quell violence. But I was telling you, in that time when I spent together, 5 days after January 6th, I was working really clear to the president, what had happened, he said, what if we hadn't had the rally, so it's so terrible what everybody put us through. Well, I told him I was praying for that. few days later, before we entered the administration, we were talking through some details, wrapping up and saying, what? And I said, I referred to our differences in our government and said. And then I said, Mr. President, I'm never going to stop on the floor. And he looked up at me.
More from an interview with the former Vice President. When we return to the Reagan National Defense Forum, does he plan to cooperate with the DOJ investigation into President Trump? And will he make it run for the House?
I've traveled this for the last 2 years, and we've got a lot of encouragement from people. The world doesn't come together like this very often. But when it does, the results can be extraordinary. Qatar is committed to that idea and growing its potential as a partner, investor, and innovator, with possibilities for unlimited and rewards for the process. Let the world play and become part of our story.
I started working in a hospital when I was 14. I learned through some hard experiences that health isn't just about longevity, it's about quality of life. Working with patients, trying to get them to eat more fruits and vegetables is important. Most of my patients were eating less than 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. That's when I decided I need to find a different way. That's how I developed Optimatrix. It gives your body the chemistry it needs to help your cells run their own. It's real. It's real science. It's real fruits and vegetables, and it's real people. I would attribute the success of balancing nature going from bathroom and my breakfast to millions of servings of fruits and vegetables being served to the world. Through the
As a special holiday, get $25 off plus a free homemade spice with your first preferred order. Use discount code FOXFOODS.
Hello, I'm Michael Bell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for our best offer ever. We're all experiencing a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm passing those savings directly on to you. You can get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's best cotton. It's grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. I know my sheets are perfect for you, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee for Christmas until March 1st, 2023, making them the perfect gift for your friends, your family, and everyone you know. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
Welcome back to Fox News Sunday here in Simi Valley, California. More now from our sit-down with former Vice President Pence. Has he been asked by the Justice Department to aid in the investigations into his former boss, and would he? Plus, what is their relationship like now? Your critics say that the book, they give you credit for acting admirably, they say on January 6th, but they say what led up to January 6th, and here's what the New York Times says. You shouldn't have been worried for pulling democracy back from the brink if you helped carry it up there in the first place, and so help me God, Pence did just that. So what about the critique that you didn't break with the president when he said something offensive or controversial or untrue, or when he broke with the kind of conservative principles that you were committed to?
Well, I will tell you that despite the differences that we have at the end, I will always be proud of the record of the Trump Pence administration.
But what about the things that got him into trouble and that?
I'm never surprised by criticism in the New York Times.
No, you wouldn't be.
But look, in our administration, we endured a level of opposition by the Democrats and their allies in the media that was, in my judgment, unprecedented in my lifetime.
But
And
you
yet, in the
also
midst of
bring
that,
some of that on himself in his tweets and his comments and things that are really offending people.
well, look, the president and I have different styles. I'm much more combative style of politics. I'm somebody that's always trying to put a hard pin in civility. in my public life, so I have that in my head. But I must tell you, I read a report, we don't even argue that. Looking at the site of the White House, and it brightly gets a dark night sky. But I noted that down from the Stockton newspapers just outside the Oval Office was a copy of the January 20th, 2017 Washington Post, the headline of which was, "The quest to impeach Donald Trump begins today." And literally, it never let up. Through 2.5 years of the Russia hoax, through impeaching the President of the United States over a phone call, through Speaker Pelosi and Schumer's efforts to destroy all throughout there was an effort by the Democrats to, in effect, overturn our election in 2016 and drive the president from office.
Okay, try to get to a little bit of what here. I think we made a number of issues about January 6th. You're very detailed in the book. There are reports now that DOJ wants to talk to you potentially in connection with a potential criminal investigation or indictment of President Trump.
We couldn't do a resolution and obviously people are responsible. But I'll be, it doesn't say something, but what I would tell you is that we will make that decision on the basis of the unique responsibilities that I have under the Constitution of the United States as a former vice president. One of the reasons why I made it clear in recent weeks that Congress has no right to my testimony before the January 6th committee. I was always concerned about the fact that a committee was formed where every member was appointed by the Democrat Speaker of the House, like inconsistent with Congress and the structure that I experienced when I was in Congress. But while we didn't prevent any of our senior team from cooperating with the committee, I made it clear that as vice president, I believe it would establish a terrible precedent to call the vice president before the Congress to testify about private deliberations with the president with whom they served. And I made it clear that we would not do that. But we'll evaluate the DOJ's request.
One of the things in the Trump-Pence administration, I know that you all were very proud of, was the support of Israel. I was there in Jerusalem. We talked there when you all were moving the embassy. The Abraham Accords, there's been great support for Israel from the Trump-Pence administration, and yet the president is now making a lot of headlines for having a couple of people at Mar-a-Lago who made anti-Semitic remarks. One of them is a Holocaust denier. Joel Rosenberg writes over at All Israel News this headline: Trump's terrible mistake. Dining with two anti-Semites last week was an unmitigated disaster and tarnishes his otherwise stellar record as being pro-Israel and pro-Jewish. The president had made some statements about not knowing exactly who Nick Fuentes was or others there. Is that in itself disqualifying this whole episode? Maybe Netanyahu's called him out for somebody who is running to be the president again of this country?
Well, I think that's a question for the American people. Anti-Semitism is real, and it's rising in many parts of the world. You know, as I write in my book, I had the privilege of co-founding the Anti-Semitism Caucus on Capitol Hill with the late Tom Lantos, who was the only Holocaust survivor ever to serve in the Congress of the United States. And I think it's important for those of us who have the opportunity to serve our country or aspire to serve our country in high national office to make it clear that there is no place to give anti-Semitism. Anti-Semites a seat at the table. It was wrong for President Barack Obama to associate with Louis Farrakhan. Now more than ever, we need to make it clear that we reject anti-Semitism. Left, right, and center leaders in this country deserve and keep those words to the American people.
This book feels very much sort of like your opening argument to the American people, but having a conversation with them about whether you may be the right person to become president of this country. Where are you in that conversation with Karen, with your trusted advisors, when you make a decision? What would make you feel compelled to get in, especially knowing the whole boss is in?
Well, with you at the Reagan Library, Shannon, I today been waiting several times. The American people have a funny way of letting you know they want you to run for president. And I've been traveling this country over the last 2 years, and we've got a lot of encouragement from people. I truly do believe that The American people want to get back to the policies of Trump Pence administration. Less taxes, less regulation, more American energy, secure borders, a strong military, standing tall in the world, standing with our allies, standing up for our enemies. They want to have judges on our courts who will defend our liberties at a time when many of our liberties are under assault every day. But I also hear from people that they long for leadership that could unite our country around our highest ideals, including civility and respect. You know, I believe that democracy depends on heavy doses of civility. And when Karen and I were trying and give careful consideration to it the holidays when all our kids are home for the first time in 3 years with two in the military, is whether we can play a role in that, giving the American people a fresh start. Back to the conservative principles that we're working, that maybe also lead us in a direction where we can have government that is as good to one another as the American people are to each other each and every day.
In this scenario in which there would be a Pence-Trump ticket. Anything can happen in politics.
Almost anything can happen, but I will tell you, we'll sort out where our role, our calling is, but you know me well enough to know we're gonna pray all the way through it, and we'll go where we're called.
Mr. Vice President, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Shane.
Up next from the Reagan Library, a Christian web designer opposed to same-sex marriage is at the center of a free speech case about to go to the U.S. Supreme Court. We'll bring in our Sunday group on the rule it could mean for protecting your rights to free speech. Red Lobster's 5 points of fun dining. Creating your own ultimate feast is the ultimate form of self-expression. Create your own ultimate feast this year. Choose 4 of 10, like new cheddar-day shrimp. Welcome to fun dining. Some days we be desperate. We're Carvana. We've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Go to Carvana, answer a few questions, and our techno wizard will calculate your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. We'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. At Carvana.
Hi, I'm Darlene. I lost 40 pounds of gold in just 8 months. I gained an enormous amount of weight due to medication I was put on. When I started the gold release, I was surprised at how easy it was for the weight to come off. I've never done anything better in my life.
Vehicles come in all different sizes, yet ordinary windshield phone holders are one size fits all. Does that make sense? No, but this does. The adjustable windshield phone from WeatherTech. It extends and retracts for a perfect fit in any vehicle. Plus, quickly extends for easy one-handed in and out. And for kids, use it in the back seat too. Comes with short, medium, and telescopic arms to fit any vehicle. Order the American-made windshield phone at WeatherTech.com. Even makes a nice holiday gift. Tonight, China's last protest. Gordon Chapman and global fallout class. Richard Goldberg on continued unrest in Iran on the next Life Learning event.
Hi, William Devane here. It's the Medicare annual enrollment period, and this year it's simple. 1, score the deadline phone number at the bottom of the email. 2, check your digital Medicare payment. $0 premiums, prescriptions, dental care, and the Medicare adds money back to your Social Security check every month. 3, you'll find out what you're eligible for. The annual enrollment period has a deadline, so don't delay, call now.
I called to find a plan that covers more of my dental expenses.
I call every year to make sure my doctor is still in my plan.
I call to see if my zip code has a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I call every year.
Call to find out the changes to your plan and see if you're eligible for anything new. The annual enrollment period has a deadline, so don't delay, call now.
Call 1-800-516-2500. That's 1-800-516-2500 now.
Emily wanted to create something special for her husband. Something delightful. It's called Rosetta. And it's perfect. Now she's sort of obsessed. Creating for her, for that, for this. it. Create it at Zazzle.com. Over back to Fox News Sunday live from the Reagan Library. Democrats are a step closer to dramatically overhauling the presidential nominating contest, making South Carolina first. Time now for our Sunday group here in Simi Valley. Former Bush White House advisor Karl Rove and Fox News Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin. Great to have you both with us in person today here. Okay, let's start with this. The president's proposal would cement the Democrats as the center-left party and make it harder for future insurgents. Karl, a lot of folks think this is specifically crafted for Biden run.
Oh, absolutely. This is clear indication that he wants to run for re-election. The old calendar started in Iowa, which gave him a fourth place finish, and was followed by New Hampshire that gave him a fifth place finish. And he wants to move to South Carolina that gave him a first class finish to the front of the line. So it's going to be interesting to watch. There are problems, and this is an emotional effort. Changes in state law are required. He's going to have to deal with a Republican legislature and governor in Georgia and in South Carolina, and a Democrat legislature and a Republican governor in Nevada to make these changes all come about. And there's one state that he's not going to be able to deal with. New Hampshire has in its state law a provision that the Secretary of State can move the primary date to a week before any other state that wants to be first. And both Democrats and Republicans in New Hampshire are going to try and guard that jealous state.
Yeah, it's a proposal at this point. Okay, so the backdrop here, obviously, is the Reagan Defense Forum. So, Jen, let's talk about that. China getting out of the headlines. Bloomberg puts it this way: Biden needs a Reagan-esque approach to China. Says the upheaval there could be to America's strategic advantage if President Joe Biden can navigate the dilemmas of dealing with a powerful, repressive regime. That's one of the top topics there.
Well, I think what's really interesting is President Xi has been really taken aback, both the fact that President Putin has had such a hard time in Ukraine, that his silent approach, he's not supporting him with weapons, but then look at the domestic troubles that he has. These COVID protests, these protests where people are saying enough already, those domestic protests, for the first time you've heard people call for President Xi to step down. That has never happened in China, but the anti-vaccine movement there, it's really his own making. It was vaccine nationalism. He didn't want to bring in the mRNA and the foreign-made vaccines, and now they're an unvaccinated population. And in their homes and drive them out to quarantine. The pictures are not good, and he's going to be taking more of this in the future.
Iran, Russia, Ukraine, everything else on the table here too.
Yeah, it was a very interesting discussion. One of the reasons I walked away from was the unanimity between Republican and Democrat legislators who were here, members of Congress who were here. Ukraine and China, there was a bipartisan consensus that Ukraine must be supported and that China must be confronted. And I was really taken aback by the strength of the conviction from both Democrats and Republicans.
I want to quickly touch on another domestic issue. Supreme Court tomorrow will hear a case about a web designer in Colorado. She's a Christian. The state law there says if she's going to design websites for